Hi everyone, welcome back to Weekly Endeavours for the 30th of June onwards. I'm Jackson. There will be timestamps, but I don't think there's much to really have to timestamp here. I think the video is going to be quite short. So all three options here are really good. In normal circumstances, the event ticket one is usually really good, but these two here are just like amazing anyway. So yeah, just whichever one you want to choose, it doesn't really matter. So I'll just cover event tickets first because everyone's probably going to want or most people are probably going to want their event tickets regardless of this stuff. So I'll just go through that anyway. So if you're not familiar, you have to come here to Craiglawn. The event can be found here. Now, in each of the starting areas, there is a portal you can take. Like, for example, right here, just north of the starting Wayshrine and Vocal Guard, there's a portal there that takes you to this location straight away, so you don't have to run around trying to figure out how to get to Craiglawn. You can just do that. And initially, you have to do a quest for Aminosari. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You need to get the baked apples recipe, which you can get for 250 gold just over there. This brewer right here, or this chef, gives you the recipe. They also give you banana surprise, which I suggest if you want to do one of the other options. But you can find chefs everywhere, so that's not too big of a deal. Once you've done that, you craft the apples, and then you go back to him, or you bake the apples, I suppose. You come back to this guy, you just got to go get some maple over there, come back to him, and then over here-ish, there's like a area where you got to sneak and get like an item from a basket near a boss. You don't actually have to fight him. If you sneak up, grab the item, and then run away, you don't have to fight him at all. He's a bit of a tough fight. Like, he doesn't do much damage, but he just takes forever to kill, so I just skip if you can. If people are already fighting him, you might as well fight him, because I think he drops like a bit of loot that you can sell as well, I suppose. But yeah, you don't need to fight him at all. And then just come back and you've done that one. And then you get access to Fazario's quest. So this is the one that gives you your event tickets. So what you do is just talk, start it up, and now you just have to pray at the statue. You don't have to pray at this if you're not into that sort of thing. You can get her to pray for you. Once you've done that, now you've got three things you can do. So you can either earn a level or a champion point, you can unearth an antiquity and a treasure chest, and you can trade with guild traders. Now this one here, you need to spend 10,000 gold for this to work. It's a lot of gold. And I wouldn't do this on the basis that, like, just for the sake of doing the weekly, because if you start buying a couple of items on guild traders, you'll get the other weekly option done anyway, so just don't worry. Don't do this one in that case, I think. Or just do it once and get the weekly done. This is usually going to be the one that works best. Or this one if you're low level. Like if you're a high champion point like I am, it's not usually the most practical option. So I'll just cover real quick these two. So if you want to level up, my advice is just go to Dolmens in Oridon and just go through those for a bit and just kill the enemies there, and you'll get a level up pretty quick. That way. It's not double XP or anything though, so it's not as quick as it could be. But yeah, usually you just want to use a treasure map or an antiquity. That's my personal belief on what the best thing is. The treasure maps, you can get these from doing dolmens, and you can also get them from looting chests sometimes. Thieves' Troves is also another good way to get these. If you have the Thieves Guild DLC, you can look for those. So what these are is you can read them, they show you like a location, and you have to go to that location and find it. Now there's an add-on called Lost Treasure that you can use to pinpoint them on your map. But if you're on console, you could also just, if you've got like a mobile phone or a laptop or something, just look it up on your browser. Just look up literally the name of the treasure map, and there'll be like a couple of sites that give you the actual location that you can just look through. Usually there's a lot of treasure maps on guild stores. It's just sometimes they might be in a location where you don't have any wayshrines. If you can, look for the Canarthi's Roost, Stros Mackay, Betneek, Bleakrock Isle, and Balfoyan treasure maps. If you're not sure, because these areas here are very small. The areas that you need to traverse are also very small, so it's just easy to get those done and not have to worry too much about which wayshrines you've already got. Getting to them initially, you need to go to certain places. Like for example, if you want to go to Bleakrock Isle and Balfoyan, you need to use the one at here. You speak to Lysel, and then Balfoyan you can just travel through this door here with the wayshrine that's easy to get to. So you just got to know how to get it to each of these locations. There's also Artaeum, Artaeum's area is very small as well, so you can use that. And the same deal happens with antiquities. Because the antiquities can be all over the map. If you do your antiquities in a place like Bleak Rock Isle, it'll be better because the area is so small. Even if you don't have any of the way shrines, you can just travel through the entire place in like a minute. So it's very easy to do antiquities there too. Alright, so if you haven't done antiquities before, you need Greymore. You can start them off by coming to the Antiquarian Circle here, talk to Verita Numida for a bit. It doesn't take very much. It's just, it's like talking to her for a couple of seconds, turning around, interacting with something, and then just turning back around and talking to her again, and you complete the quest. Now, there's another quest you could do for her, which explains, it gives you like a basic rundown of scrying. Scrying initially, like when you first get your like green quality ones, is a bit of a pain in the ass. But once you get to level 2, it's a lot easier because you get Coalescence and Scry's Patience. Once you get these two, the green ones become a lot easier, and you can just do them pretty relaxed. So basically, you scry an item. For example, I can scry this one. Yours will look a bit simpler when you do the green ones at first, but basically you got to line up all these, like try and get all of a same type. So for example, I could go this one here, that one there, and go boom. So what you're doing is lining up, like you got to connect this to all these swirly things here, and you do that by clicking on these like little hexagons, and when you click on one, it sort of it uses it up, and any in like the same type, they'll connect up and they'll both light up if you click on one. So the idea is to find like the path of least resistance, essentially. So try and link up ones with like a line of them, so that you can like go through and connect a heap with one thing, because you've got a limited number of like charges or tries before you run out. And if you miss any of these swirly things, what it'll do is it'll create a fake dig site alongside the real dig site, and it means if you go to that fake one, you might end up not finding the item that you're looking for. So what I like to do is just make sure I get all the swirly things in one go, because otherwise it just you might be wasting your time later. So if you fuck this up and you like, I'll just show you what happens if you mess it up. So I'll get everything but 1 or 2, whatever. So what will happen is it will, yeah. So you can see here it's got the fake dig sites. And the good thing is you can just retry this as many times as you want until you get a favored one, because sometimes the like sort of roll that you get, or like the RNG you get for the way that these things are set up is sometimes really bad, especially when you start with the green ones, because you've got fuck all like tries and charges. Alright, so as soon as you get all 6, you can just escape out of it immediately, and it will just immediately show up. Just spend less time on it. We go over here, so this is the real dig site, so we go over here. Now at this point, first thing you want to do is go to your inventory. So this is for people who haven't done it before. Tools, Antiquarian's Eye, put it on your bar here, because this thing will make your life so much easier. So what you do is you go to your quick slots, you activate it like a potion, and it will give you the direction of where you can find the actual dig site, and voila, there it is. So I think this is the much easier bit than doing the scrying sometimes. So it's basically a hot and cold system, so you get the auger. Oh wow, what the fucking odds. So that means it's right on top. So if you do one that's like on the opposite side of where it would be, it'll show up as red, and as you get closer it'll go orange, and then it'll go yellow, and then green. So the closer you get to it, the closer towards the green color it gets, as opposed to red. Right, so you get the handbrush. Later on you get the trowel and the heavy shovel. These are kind of important for the later ones, but for the green ones you do not need these at all. You can just use the handbrush that you start with. So oh wow, I got everything pretty quick there. So yeah, you get your item, and sometimes you can get some extra loot as well, which is nice. It's nothing like super important though, the bonus stuff. They just focus on that as a bonus, but don't worry too much about it. So yeah, those are the two ways you can do it. So yeah, like I said, the first two things you want to get in scrying, if you haven't done it before, is these two here. As soon as you get to level 2, to get to level 2, you need to do 8 green scries and 8 green excavations, and then you get access to the second level. And from the second level, it gets so much easier. Alright, hand that one in, and there's our tickets. So you just have to do that 3 days of this week, and you'll get your 9 tickets in total. Don't know why they make it 8 tickets. One last thing I forgot to mention. The Zenithar parcels that you get for completing these Honest Tour quests, these can have maps in them as well. So if you complete one with a treasure map, there's a chance that you'll get a treasure map from the next one. The only thing is these are completely random. Some of these treasure maps can be shit, because like you might not have the zone that it's in, and I'm pretty sure some can even be in zones that you don't have access to if you don't have the DLC. So it's worth mentioning. But yeah, you can get pretty good. Like I've had times where I've used a treasure map in an easy place, and then I get the same treasure map from that same place. So yeah, sometimes it could be good, but don't rely on it all the time, I think. Right, so now we've got purchasing from guild traders. So there's a lot of guild traders out there. Some of them are easy to get, some are hard to get to, or take more time to get to, I suppose. So probably one of the easiest ones to get to, you've got Carilda right here, just south of the Wayshrine here that you start with. Same with Glenumbra, you've got 5 here that you can access in this little area here. And in Stonefalls, you've also got, at the Wayshrine that you start with, you've got Tano Lelvu here. There's also in Morrowind's probably one of the best, because the Wayshrine that you start with, just go a little bit southeast and you get to Vivek City, and there's 7 here. This is, oh sorry, 6. This is like this is one of the like big trader areas that people use. And every zone has like one town that has a bunch. In Betnik, around the area that you do Honest Toil, there's also 7 here, but usually this is the first place people go to. I find if you're struggling to find stuff cheap, the best guild traders to go to are the ones like that are not as straightforward to reach, and the ones that's just like one, and they're like guild traders or like guilds that aren't as sort of as prosperous as the big ones. I find those to be the best ones, because generally they have items that are very cheap to buy. So go into the guild trader here, go into it. So when you go to all items, this is what you want, and you want to make sure the arrow here is facing upwards. You can do that just by clicking on it. If you click on it, again, it goes down, and you don't want that. So now you search, and what this will do, all items set to with the total set to up, shows you the absolute cheapest things you can buy on this guild store. So I just need to test, though, if there's 2 items, does it count? Or you have to buy 5 separate items. Yeah, so don't buy stacks of items. Buy a single item at a time, because it doesn't actually work for the process of this endeavor. So only go for things that there's like one of the item. That's a bit silly. So in this case, just go buy these ones here, for example. And yeah, you just got to do that a few times. It will cost you a little bit of gold, but it is super fast to do this. Yeah, it's kind of annoying that buying a stack doesn't work, though. So if you want an easy way to, or easier, or more convenient way to get to some of these, just keep in mind there are houses all over the map, and you can use these houses as like a pseudo wayshrine to start with. So for example, if you haven't been to Shadowfen before, there's 5 in Stormhold, 5 guild traders. There is a house up here somewhere you can travel to. Yeah, this one here, Ample Domicile. So you can use this in home tours. You go home tours, browse homes, and you type in, you go the Ample, god damn it, you go the Ample Domicile. So we're going now to the Ample Domicile here. So you just look that up, and you travel to one of these houses. You go out the front door, and then it'll take you out here, and then you can just travel over here, and then just get the sway run if you want as well, and you can just check those guild traders if you haven't gotten those ones before. Now you got another guild trader down here, and like for example, the Bandari guild traders here. You've also got Cyrodiil Jungle House that you can travel to via home tours. There's lots of options here to make it a bit more convenient for yourself to find these guild traders. Like you got ones out here in the middle of nowhere, and these ones tend to have a lot of items that you can buy for cheap. Okay, so last one, we've got crafting with any skill, also very easy. So you can do a couple of things. You can craft some iron daggers, just go the Skyrim route with some iron ingots and some like star materials. But yeah, what I prefer to do is use provisioning, especially with the daily being provisioning. You can get both of these done at the same time. So firstly, you want to make sure you have 2 recipes. Now, if you've done the event to get stuff, you'll probably have baked apples if you can use that. But you also want to have banana surprise. So these 2 recipes can come from any chef in the game. Probably one of the most convenient to use is going to be the one in Salted Wings Tavern, because it's right next door to the area that I used to do this one. So you just open up the store for any of the chefs, like Izala here. There's 2 recipes you've got. Baked apples and banana surprise. These can both be crafted immediately at level 1. Like, you can create a level 3 character and do this. You just need to have a bit of gold to spend if you haven't got these 2 recipes already. If you can't find them, check out guild stores as well. You could probably find some of these recipes on there for a lot cheaper than 250 gold. But if you can't find them anywhere, these are like a guaranteed way to get them. And once you spend that 500 gold, you never have to spend it again. On one character with these recipes, you can do the crafting with any skill or crafting with provisioning endeavors from that point for free. So it's a worthwhile investment, I think. Okay, so this is the promised land right here, this little square pier. So there's a bunch of things here. You've got a apple basket right here. You can get some apples from this. There's an apple basket over here, and then there's a tray over here that has some apples and some bananas in it. So all these items here are all items that you can use in the baked apples and banana surprise recipes, and that's all you need to craft those. So that's a very quick way to do it. Now, this won't get you enough for 20 items unless you have a high level of provisioning, and you've got the chef passive here. The more points into this you've got, the less amount of items that you need to loot from there. So if you can level up provisioning, especially right now with Zeal of Zenithar, do it. Yeah, a bunch of faked apples there, and you're done. If you don't have that passive, it's not like a ridiculously bad thing. It just means that you're going to be spending slightly longer. So what you can do, there's nothing here. You might think, oh, what do you do now that you don't have anything left? So what you can actually do is, if you leave the zone and come back, it resets all this stuff. So what you do, if you're level 10, you can go to Imperial City, enter the campaign. What will happen is, this counts as leaving the zone, but when you enter Imperial City, if you leave, it takes you back to the area that you queued in from. So that'll be literally where we are. So you're leaving the zone, basically having to run for like 5 seconds, and then you go straight back to where you were in Oridon. But it'll reset the instance, and it'll fill up those trays and those apple baskets again. So you can just literally just repeat the process by just going to Imperial City, coming back, and then it'll reset things. Now, it won't reset everything. Containers in this game have like this weird system where sometimes they'll be empty, sometimes they'll be full, but most of the time, most stuff's full. So you can just go ahead and just grab the bananas again, the apples, and just grab this apple basket over here, and just repeat the process. And if you don't have access to Imperial City, if you're just on like a level 3 character, just go to the Wayshrine, leave, come back, and then just travel back here. Or you can travel inside Mariska's public house if you've got that, and just go out the front door, and then, yeah, just come back here. And what that'll do is literally do the same thing. It'll reset the area. And that's all there is to this weekly. It's pretty straightforward. So if you have any questions, just let me know, as always. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support, as always. I'll see you next time, and take care.